So speaking of school, do you remember all the schools you went to growing up?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Preschool, kindergarten, go.
Preschool, I'd say St. John's. St. John's on Westfield Avenue.
St. Joseph?
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. St.
Okay.
Joseph on Westfield Avenue.
Okay.
I got kicked out of there.
You remember why?
I kissed a white girl.
Got kicked out.
Got kicked out for kissing a white girl. The nuns were not happy about that. Called my mom, and actually my mom ended up cussing the nuns out because, like, why would you call me out of work?
Because this dumb little kid.
Like, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, did he forcibly kiss her? And I know I didn't.
Right.
I know it was like, you know, a mutual thing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure her parents probably wasn't even happy about it.
Okay. Okay.
A little black boy kissing my white daughter.
Right.
In the 80s?
Right.
Yeah. That wasn't going over too well.
Okay.
After St. Joseph's, I transferred to a school. Now, that's the only one I don't remember.
I think
BPUM.
BPUM in North Camden.
In North Camden.
Okay.
Went there, and then from there, went to Bonsall.
Bonsall was what? What grades?
1st to 5th.
Okay. Where is Bonsall?
Bonsall was on Mount Ephraim Avenue, our Pollock.
Okay. So what was that experience like?
Bonsall was bittersweet.
Now let's talk about this for 1 second. You said you live downtown.
Mm-hmm.
You're from downtown.
Yes.
But you go to school, you go to Bonsall.
Right.
How did that happen?
I went to Bonsall because my grandmother, my mom's mother, she taught at Bonsall.
Oh, your grandma was a teacher?
Yes.
Okay. What's her name?
Miriam Williams.
Shout out to Miss Miriam. Okay. Condolences. Sorry about that.
I lost her when I was about 8.
Okay.
She actually was my end all be all, like,
before.
Around the same time, like her and my mom, it was like neck and neck. I mean, it was mom, but then it was always like, all right, mom, grandma made like,
right.
My mom. You know, like my mom.
You know what it is.
Yeah, my mom made the best cream of wheat ever, and like to this day, there's nobody that can recreate or compete with my mom's cream of wheat. My mom's cream of wheat.
What flavors did she make?
Oh, it was only one flavor. Back then, there wasn't no flavor cream of wheat.
That's true.
It was just cream of wheat with butter, sugar, milk, and that was it.
And she killed it.
That was it. That's all I needed.
So how'd you get to school? You walked?
You know, I guess I could say from like maybe 1st to 2nd, I would be taken to school by my grandfather.
Okay.
And he would drop me off, pick me up. Then once I became able to, you know, walk by myself, I get dropped off, but I'll walk home. Okay, gotcha. I would get dropped off to school, but I'd end up walking home.
So you had no problems walking through, what, 2 neighborhoods?
Pollock, Centerville. Actually, Pollock and, yes, I guess that is Centerville, the Ever Gardens area.
Right.
Yeah, Pollock, Ever Gardens, yeah. No problems.
All love. Okay. So you graduated from Bonsall.
Graduated from Bonsall and went to Hatch, 6th to 8th.
Which is where?
On Park Boulevard, out Parkside.
It's in Parkside?
Yes.
So you're living downtown when you go to school in Parkside?
No. When I changed from Bonsall to Hatch,
right,
that's around the time I moved with my father.
Okay.
And I moved with him. He had just bought a house in Parkside on Park Boulevard in front of Forest Hill.
Right.
Right directly in front of Forest Hill.
Okay, so when you moved in with your dad, you moved to a new neighborhood from downtown to Parkside.
Yes.
So kids who met you in middle school probably thought you were from Parkside.
Pretty much, they just didn't know. I was almost absolutely unknown in Hatch because nobody that I'd known
had ever even seen you before. Got it. Okay, so what was that like? Was that a culture shock going from downtown to Parkside? It was
definitely different. I did run into, you know, because Camden's not that big. So right. I did run into maybe a few people that I knew from different areas of Camden. But for the most part, it was all about making new friends.
What was your middle school experience like?
Dope. I can say dope.
Okay.
And mainly because meeting people like you, other people that went to Hatch with us, it was mainly me making all new friends.
Okay.
And the experiences with those friends was pretty dope.
Thank you, by the way. All right, and you go to high school where?
Camden High.
Okay.
The High, baby.
Which is where?
On Park Boulevard as well, out Parkside.
Okay, okay. And what was your high school experience like? Describe it.
Even better than Hatch, because now, coming from Hatch and going to Camden High, it was basically like, it was like an upgrade. It was like, all right, you in the big leagues now. You was in little leagues in Hatch. Now you in the big leagues. You right up the street. Now you in the big leagues. Now you with all the big dogs.
Right.
And yeah, that was the era that it was in, from 94 to 98. One of the last great eras of Camden High, in my opinion.
Okay.
One of the last great eras of Camden High. You could still go to Hatton Avenue on your lunch break if you wanted to. Go to the trucks on the side of the school, the Panzerotti trucks.
Right.
You could sit on the ledge and eat your lunch. You could just pow out, and it was just a great era to be in Camden High.
Okay. Did you work in high school?
Yes.
Do you remember your first job?
Yes, Corinne's Place, soul food restaurant in Parkside on Hatton Avenue.
Really? How'd you get it?
Miss Corinne was a friend of my family.
Okay.
Her and my grandfather, they had a thing
back in the day,
and she always stayed cool with my family. She actually helped raise one of my aunts, and they had a very close relationship.
Okay.
And
shout out to Miss Corinne.
Yes, shout out to Miss Corinne, because she definitely taught me a lot.
What did you do?
I was a busboy / waiter.
Okay. How long were you there?
I was with Miss Corinne for maybe 2 years.
Okay.
Maybe 2.5. Maybe about 2.5 years.
Okay. So you wound up graduating from Camden High?
Yes.
1998?
1998.
Okay. And your overall school experience, it seems like you like school.
Yeah, I did. I definitely I like school so much that when I would cut classes, I would never leave grounds, but that was because my father was a mailman, and there was no way I was getting beat in front of my friends in the middle of the street. So I would cut school and be in school cutting school.
Right. Some people cut school and they leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Not me. No dude.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst ever and 10 being the best possible, how would you personally rate your childhood?
I'd say about a 7.
Okay. What would have needed to happen for you to have, say, 8 or 9?
Probably my mom not being on drugs and me having to live with my father and my stepmother.
Right, like being forced to live with your dad. It wasn't your choice.
Right.
Okay. And that story is wild because, like, even still thinking about it, like, were your clothes already packed in at your dad's house?
No, actually, he bought me an all new wardrobe.
So you never even went home to pack?
No.
No toys, no video games, nothing?
No. And actually, no, nothing at all.
Okay.
Just had to get up and go.
Got it. So yeah, that was an early life lesson for you. Like, things can be taken away in an instant. Sometimes when we have no control over it. Yeah. And to learn that as a kid, it could be traumatic depending on the type of child you are.
Right. And actually, like I said, it was bittersweet because although I went over there, I didn't have any clothes, it was like almost like, what movie was that? I can't remember the movie, but the kid was like enamored because they in a department store, they're getting all new stuff. I think it was like Orphan Annie or something like that.
Okay.
My dad took me, and even though now Foreman Mills is like, you go to Foreman Mills, but back then it was like, whoa, I'm going to Foreman Mills, J.C. Penney.
Right. I'm
getting new jeans, and I'm gonna be fresh and hatched. Like,
right.
You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing.
Right.
No holes in my clothes. I'm feeling good.
Right. Okay. Do you have a worst childhood day that you would like, or time period that you would like to forever forget?
The worst childhood day is the day I moved.
Prior to the day that you moved. That was a shock for you.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. The worst childhood day for me would have been when my grandmother passed.
Sorry to hear. Oh, the teacher?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the worst childhood day for me.
Okay. Do you remember what happened?
She had a heart attack, I believe.
Okay.
She had a heart attack.
And how did you find out?
I don't remember finding out that she had a heart attack. I just remember finding out that she was in the hospital. And they brought me up to the hospital with them.
Where were you? Like in school, at home?
I was home.
You were home?
I was home.
Okay.
We all went up to the hospital, and by the time we had arrived at the hospital, she had already passed.
Oh.
And I remember trying to go back to see her, but my mom and them wouldn't let me go back to see her, and I just was like, I lost it.
It was the first time you ever lost somebody close to you?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like that affected you going forward?
Not majorly, but it's always been it's always been in the back of my mind.
Okay.
It's always been and it's an experience I'll never forget.
Okay, got it. Let's flip it. Do you have a favorite childhood day or time period that you would like to go back to if you could?
The times that I spent with my father's mother,
Okay.
my grandmother. She lived in Lindenwold.
What was her name?
Janice.
Okay, shout out to Miss Janice.
She lived in Lindenwold, and the times going
Lindenwold, New Jersey.
Lindenwold, New Jersey.
How far is Lindenwold from Camden?
I'll say about maybe a 20 to 30 minute, 20 minute drive. 20 minute drive.
Okay. She lived in Lindenwold.
Just the times going with her, because anytime I was with her, we were always traveling. She'd take me to North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm talking about from 2 to about 13.
Okay.
She was always taking me somewhere during the summer. And it was always a great experience. I still remember when I was 2 how I lost my tooth in South Carolina with my grandma because I was coming down a slide face first, and it was like, I guess, a rock in the sand or something hit my mouth. And
you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
But you knew in the summer it was on at grandma's house.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Okay. And you used to also say, like, around the time, a sweet spot when you were like 7 years old, where you had both sets of grandparents.
Right.
On both sides, and you were the oldest, and really the only.
The only, yes. Yes.
Right. So that seemed like a lot of love and a lot of getting spoiled.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there anything in your childhood that occurred that you feel affected your life forever, negatively or positively? And you might have just mentioned it, like when your grandma passed away.
Yeah, that there's many things in my childhood that occurred that affected my life differently.
Okay.
My mom being on drugs, it affected me positively and negatively.
How so?
I'll say positively because it basically taught me humility and how to cope with a lot of different things, and how not to judge other people's situations.
Okay.
That I didn't grasp until I became an adult.
Okay.
And more mature, because as a kid, you're in school, you laugh at people that's doing worse off than you. You make jokes about them, grind them up, whatever. It happens. But
right.
Once you become older and you see somebody in a similar predicament to what you were when you were younger,
right,
it's an eye opener. Like, damn, give them a helping hand, or like try to be nice to them, or you never know what their day could consist of, or what their night before seeing you could have consisted of.
Exactly. So we don't think about that growing up as kids.
Not at all.
You don't know what that kid went through, even before they just got to school.
Right.
The chick that always had an attitude every day. You don't know who was touching her or what she went through with her mom. We don't know.
Right.
We just know she always had a nasty attitude every day. Or this student was always asleep in class. You never think about the things that could be happening at home while they didn't get any sleep last night.
As a kid, it doesn't cross. Number one, not only does it not cross your mind, you have no care in the world.
Right. It's funny,
kids,
but it's not
we are
funny.
like the most abrasive, uncaring, ruthless individuals ever.
Especially in middle school.
Oh, man.
So that time period from 13 to, 11 to 14,
yeah.
Kids are at their meanest.
Raw. Straight raw.
Meanest. Well, you might go home and have nothing to eat. But if you could pick somebody else apart in class and be on top of all the jokes, then...
That's what I was just about to point out. Mind you, in that era, your mama jokes was like just Oh man, it was like, and you had to like you. I remember being at home trying to think of the hardest thing to say. Like,
right.
ooh, I'm gonna hit him with this. Like, ooh,
your mom's so dumb. Your mom's so ugly.
Your family's so poor. Like,
right.
And that could really hurt somebody like core heart. Like, wow, like he. Really
and it's true. You know how many fights jumped off because of cracking?
Yeah.
A lot. Something triggered somebody, and
you hit that chord like
exactly.
Or
we seen it happen.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the time, it was all jokes, and you could laugh it off unless you was getting smashed by an experienced crack artist. But it was that 10%.
Ooh, man.
It went down. It's like, yo, what you just say about my mom?
And in your mind, you're like, and it's true, too? He must have seen something.
Right. Question, so what is your overall perception of how your childhood affected your life? Like, who is the Keenan of today? Who is the man that you became? And with everything that you do now and who you became, like, do you feel like overall your childhood molded you into this person?
My childhood definitely molded me into who I am today. Like I said before, if it wasn't for my childhood, the bad and the goods,
right,
I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't have the humility. I wouldn't have the morals, the ethics.
What did you do? What did you wind up doing?
Well, as of right now, I'm a 40-year-old veteran of the United States Army.
Really? You joined the Army right after high school?
No, I didn't go into the Army until after I lost my academic scholarship to college.
Okay. Where was that to?
Kean University.
Okay.
I was majoring.
How long were you there?
Maybe 2 years.
Okay.
I did maybe 2 years at the most.
Okay.
I majored in computer science.
Okay.
I got an academic scholarship for computer science.
Really?
Full ride.
And you blew that?
I blew it partying.
Partying. You was partying too hard.
My dad was so strict on me in high school.
Right.
Once I got freedom, just a taste of freedom.
And that's so many freshmen that are not able to make that transition. They get that first taste of alcohol. Parents getting called, come get your kid. You like, I didn't know my kid drank. I didn't know my kid smoked. They didn't. Until they got to college. Right.
I got to college, got that taste of freedom, and it was basically like, oh, this is it. Not only the taste of freedom, but the other part of that was I was still treating college as high school. Like, I went there and scheduled all my classes, well, most of my classes for like 8 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock in the morning, not knowing that I'm going to end up be drinking and partying all night long.
Right.
Till 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm definitely going to sleep through the alarm. Even if I don't sleep through the alarm, I'm not going to go to class.
And you're not in the right frame of mind to be in class. Like,
even when I would get my stuff together and be like, all right, you know what, I'm going to buckle down.
Right.
Go to class. Oh, it's a sunny day. 7 degrees. Everybody in the quad. Nobody's going to class. It's events going on. Like, whoa, you know what? I can miss class today.
Right. And that's crazy that you kind of need somebody to prepare you for that, for what college is going to be.
Yes.
Like, time management is critical, right? Like, these are the things, like, you need somebody. When you get thrown to the wolves like that, and you come from the type of household you came from, it's a different experience if you're not used to it. And while you're trying to get used to the social aspect of it, you fall behind, and once you fall behind, it's a wrap. There's almost no catching up.
Yeah.
So you either got to drop that class and take it over, or like you did, eventually it just snowballed.
And it was also the fact that, just like how with Hatch, I came there, I didn't know anybody or anything, went to Kean, it was even more, okay, I don't know anybody. There were 2 people, maybe a little bit more, maybe a handful of people that were from Camden that actually went to Kean.
Okay.
Alonzo Somerville.
Okay.
He went to...
Shout out to Lonzo.
He went to the high with us, and he went to Bonzo with me.
Okay.
Kalea Scott.
Okay. Shout out to Kalea.
She went there, and there were maybe 3 or 4 older people that graduated before us.
Okay.
That were already there.
Whose faces you recognize?
Maya Bumpers, okay. I believe her last name was Maya Bumpers. Kelly Brown.
Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Maya.
And I believe that was it. That went to Kean before I had got there.
That you knew of.
That I knew of.
Right. Okay.
Got it. Just going there, not knowing anybody, not knowing a lot of people.
Right.
Making all new friends, and it was basically It's not like in high school where you would have to like actually be a cool kid or a nerd, and you have to fit in.
You just be yourself.
You can just be yourself.
No matter who you are, when you get to college, it's going to be 100 people just like you.
Guaranteed.
No matter who you are.
Guaranteed. So I got up there, and once I became the life of Kean.
Right.
I became the man on campus. It was to the point, if you went to Kean anywhere from fall of '98 to fall of like 2001,
okay,
there's absolutely no way that you didn't know my name or you didn't know who I was.
So what ultimately happened?